Hey there and welcome back. We're playing some Battlefield 4 here on Operation Metro, and that's Capture the Flag. Probably my most favorite match type. I just love Capture the Flag. And but I think Operation Metro, any match type, is pretty insane with 64 players. As you know, if you have played with 64 players, a lot of times the matches, capture flag matches end up where neither side gets the flag, and it's just up to, how many points you got, how many kills, how many tickets you lost or won or didn't lose. But it's still fun, because people just love this map. It's the craziness of it, and you don't care if you die a lot, because you just love that, shredding things up. And just the craziness, the grenades flying around you, exploding next to you, behind you, and just, so many enemies, so many choices in front of you, so many things that you have to watch out for. And I always run the support tier because you can never have enough ammo on this map. You need a ton of ammo. And I'm having the Type 95B here, which is actually a great weapon when you just play support on most of the maps but this one, and I just quickly realized I just have to reload way too often. And this weapon is very, very deadly because the bullets, they are very, very powerful. Even though the weapon has a lot of recoil, it is very, very deadly. And I love how you can just shoot at someone and 2-3 bullets and they're down, and with a PW or a carbine, you have to, put in more like 10 bullets to get the same result. I don't know, I may be wrong, but I always feel like this weapon is very powerful. So I'm now changing because I'm tired of reloading all the time. I need a big magazine. So I'm going with an LMG, and I'm going with the AWS, which I have recently acquired. I'm not a really big fan of the AWS in general. It's not like a weapon that makes me go like wow or anything, but it's a newer weapon, and I just kind of want to, try it a little bit longer before I, say it's a bad weapon or anything. But when you look at the charts, when you look at the statistics, it's supposedly it's a lot more stable. The stability is very, very, very high. So I can't really say that I agree on that, but the stats aren't always correct. But a lot of people are using this weapon, and I don't feel like this weapon is a good run and gun weapon. But if you hold back like I do here, and you just basically just suppress the enemy as much as you can, it's gonna help your team tremendously. And you can just let it go. I mean, if there's right there, there are enemies back there and you don't really see them, but they're there, you just can spray. And you never really run out of bullets, I mean, the reloading is a little bit it takes a little bit of time, so make sure you don't reload when you're in the middle of a firefight. And for me, it's still hard because I have this really stupid habit of reloading after every kill, which is a really bad habit, and I just have a really hard time to break it. And especially with this weapon, at the beginning I found myself wanting to reload, and I'm like, wow, why am I reloading? I still have 74 bullets in the magazine. I have to stop reloading. I have to keep a close eye on the bullet counter or the magazine size. And so, I'm getting it a little better here during the match, but we have an amazing team, and my team is pushing really, really hard. We have just been pushed back. And I was already thinking, oh my god, there we go again. We're pushed back into our spawn. And that's when it's really hard a lot of times to even get out of this spawn trap. But we're managing to push back in and forward. And we're actually very, very successful. We'll see here soon what happens. So lately I wasn't really able to game as much as I wanted to, because I could have, but it would have actually done more damage than good, which is because of a neck injury that I got. And I don't know how I got the neck injury, but I did. I woke up one morning with my neck hurting like crazy, to the point where every little movement of my head was hurting so bad that it felt like someone was taking a knife and sticking it into my neck over and over and over every time I moved. So I didn't even want to move anymore. And you know, holding my head up, which, you know, they say an adult head is about 10 to 12 pounds. It takes, you know, it's all, your neck muscles are working all the time, keeping that head up. You know, you just think about, if you didn't have those muscles, your head would literally like fall over. And it's kind of like a funny thing to imagine. But anyway, so even if you think that you're just sitting on a chair or something, your neck muscles are not resting. So the way your neck muscles are resting is if you have like a neck brace, or if you lay down and your head is like resting on a pillow. And I couldn't even do that actually, because when my neck pain was so bad that I couldn't sleep literally. I was like basically sitting on the edge of my bed most of the night, trying to find out a way to hold my head where the pain wasn't as bad, and there was just no way. There was no way, no position I could assume that was relieving my pain in any way. So I was basically, I had like about 4 or 5 nights where I slept maybe 3 to 4 hours, and I don't even know how I managed finally to fall asleep. I think it was just pure exhaustion. But the pain was basically waking me up every hour or so, because I probably moved, and then the pain, the next stab came back, and I woke up again, and I was like, oh God, I wish I wasn't awake, because now I'm here again with this pain and I can't sleep. And it was just excruciating. And I finally, you know, the second day I went to the doctor and I said, you know, I don't know what's going on here, but you need to help me, you need to do something. And I got muscle relaxants and anti-inflammatory, and I was all happy. And I went home and I was like, oh my God, now, you know, I'm going to feel better. And nothing happened. I mean, the pain was the exact same. The muscle relaxant and anti-inflammatory, it was just like I just ate candy. It wasn't doing anything for me. And I called back and I said, hey, what's going on? This is not helping. And they were like, well, you know, you just have to give it time. I'm like, oh, yeah, you know, if you have this pain, I mean, even a minute feels like an hour. It's absolutely crazy. But I had to stick it out, you know, those first 4 or 5 nights without much sleep and insane pain. I wasn't even thinking about gaming or anything. And then when I started to feel better a little bit, I tried to, you know, start gaming again. But even though I sat in an extremely comfy recliner where I'm kind of reclined 45 degrees back, and I lay pretty comfortable, but there's really not any support. I mean, you can't lay back with your head when you try to play a game, especially not like a first-person shooter where, you know, on a 120-inch screen that I'm playing on, you have to like turn your head left and right to see what's going on, because it's almost like in the real world. It's not when you like play on a little screen and you don't have to move your head at all. But look at that. This guy is constantly in front of me, and I keep shooting his brains out here, and it's crazy how, look at that. That's like insane. Yikes. You know, but he does not get it. So he keeps running in front of me. So anyway, but you know, I'm doing some good things here. I'm trying to take all those enemies out that are trying to sneak the back way through this locker room, and hopefully I got them all. I think they're still maybe we got them all. But yeah, that's what I mean by suppressing, you know, just keep doing this, It helps a lot. Even though if you don't kill anyone, it actually suppresses them to the point where your team members can take them out easily, or where they can't move forward. Yeah, so back to my neck. So yeah, I was kind of realizing that I could, you know, game for maybe an hour, the most 2, but 2 was already pushing it, where I started to cramp up my neck muscles. And I think we gamers all tense our neck muscles without even knowing when we play intense games like shooters and whatnot. We just don't notice it, because when you have a healthy neck, you have no idea that this happens. But when you do have an injured neck, you just feel that right away, that your neck is becoming really tired really fast from that constant tension. So you can't really hold your head up more than, you know, an hour, less than usual. I mean, for me, it was like an hour at the beginning, and then it went up maybe to 2 hours, and now I'm up to like 3 hours. But I have to like stretch right after and, hope for the best that I didn't do any damage to it, because, I probably shouldn't game and, rested even more. But this is like just something that I love to do. I just hate TV. I can't stand TV. It's so boring. But anyway, so enough about this neck thingy. But I thought I'd let you know, because maybe you can learn something from it. I don't know if you've ever had tendinitis from gaming or any gaming injuries. When you game a ton, when you go from like not gaming anything to gaming a ton all of a sudden, it's very really likely that you can get some issues with your tendons. And I had tendinitis in my wrist and my shoulder from gaming. It happens. But this neck thing for me, it's like a position thing, because I have changed the way I sleep and it's not very good, and kind of tilted my neck all night, and that's kind of how this happened. But now I'm on my way to recovery, and I hope for the best. But I have learned now to, pay more attention to my neck, something that I never really paid attention to before. So something else I wanted to talk about, and I thought maybe you find amusing, is as you know, I'm a designer. If you have been following me for a while, I do, multimedia design. I do all kinds of design for, web, video, and so on. And I also do t-shirt designs and product designs and stuff like that. So I had an old illustration that I converted into a graphic, and I used the phrase "life is good" with it. I've been using this phrase before. It just kind of popped into my head one day in I think it was like 2004 or something, that I came up with this phrase. So like about 10 years ago, life is good. And so then I just recently submitted this graphics on a t-shirt to Zazzle. And I had this like really colorful frog that like looked really funny. It's kind of like a comic looking happy frog that says life is good. So I was thinking, this is going to be a fun design for people to buy. It's positive, something positive. People love to buy that. And Zazzle basically got back to me saying, we have to remove this image because you violated some copyright thingies, whatever. And I was like, what? I drew that frog like about 10 years ago, and I didn't use anyone's name or anything that anyone would own the right to. I own the right to everything. And so I was writing back to them and I said, hey, what's going on here? This is like my design, my illustration. I did this all from scratch. It was all my idea. And they're like, well, the phrase life is good is trademarked. I'm like, what? How can you like trademark a phrase? It's like, can you trademark the phrase I love you? So it's like, you can't say things anymore. You can't put like life is good on a t-shirt or use the phrase life is good. That's a regular phrase. How can someone own the rights to a phrase like this? I mean, I understand if you make up a word that doesn't exist, that you can trademark that, like a company name or something, but a regular phrase like, hey, how you doing? Oh, life is good. Oh, you can't say that because it's trademarked. I find that ridiculous. But yeah, that's where the world has come to, and so now I can't use this phrase, and I have to come up with another phrase that goes well with this design that I made. But anyway, so as you can see, we were pushing successfully. We got the flag and we won. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope to see you next time. Take care. Bye bye.